speak up.
What kids?
I can't talk that loud.
He has a question.
I have a question for the kids.
Okay.
We're kids.
What year was Poppy born?
Well,
1911.
Perfect. 1911. Can you guys imagine 1911? Cecil was born in Norman, Oklahoma, to Clyde and Elizabeth. And they moved to Greeley, Colorado, where he went to high school. Went on for a semester at the University of Colorado, and then went to work for the B.F. Goodrich Tire Company. Ran a store down on South Broadway, and just running the store wasn't enough. He wanted to run the best store, and it wasn't long until he ran the #1 store in the B.F. Goodrich district. So one day a guy came in, one of his reps, and said, you know, I think the Motorola is going to change their distributor. He said, do you think I could get that line? I said, I know you could try. So Cecil got in the car, drove to Chicago, met with the Motorola people, and convinced them they ought to appoint him the distributor. So he came back, and when he was selling tires on South Broadway, he met some good friends. And two of those were Dr. Earl Boyd and Carl Hoffman. I met him in the South Denver Civic Association. And Doc Boyd and Carl Hoffman and Cecil put up about all the money they had to start this little company, probably $5,000 each, and I might not get all the details right, but you get the gist. And since Earl Boyd and Cecil Boyd had the same name, it wasn't too hard to decide what they were going to call the company. They called it Boyd Distributing Company. So he went down to 20 West 13th Avenue, rented a little building, and started in business. One thing he knew was he had to have good people. So he took some of the good people from B.F. Goodrich, and they stayed with him. Some of them stayed with him for 40 years. Dick Brown, and Graydon Hanna. And so he moved into 20 West 13th Avenue, and he met a lot of reps, factory reps, for various lines. And it was right after the war. There was an insatiable desire for products because everything had been rationed during the war. So these reps brought him all the lines, and he just kept taking on the lines, and pretty soon he had a whole bunch of housewares lines and appliance lines. And then he had an opportunity to take on Capitol Records. So he was the first Capitol Records distributor in America. Really? Because of his energy and commitment and dedication to what he was doing. So 5 years later, we outgrew that space and built a building at 1661 West 3rd Avenue, which we moved into 1951. And the business exploded, but he realized that you could do multiple divisions with the infrastructure that we had in the distributing company. So he did that. And we grew into multiple divisions, but I was thinking about Cecil's life, and what he has is enthusiasm, dedication, commitment, loyalty, and the ability to attract and keep great people. So he's done that, and through the years we've had, and I was thinking today, a lot of people at this table have worked at the company through the years. Christy, met John there, Tracy, Raj, Bonnie, me, Mark, Jeff, and you know, Cecil had 3 sisters and 2 brothers, and Uncle Paul and Uncle Irwin, they worked at the company. Uncle Jimmy worked there. So it really has been a wonderful family experience for 65 years we've been at it. And I was thinking the other day, and I figured it out. They made 6,790 payrolls. I never missed one.
Wow.
What a great tribute to Cecil. You imagine that. So anyhow, he realized 3 things about business and the kind of business that we were in. Number 1, you had to have great people. Number 2, you had to look after your inventory. And number 3, you had to look after your receivables. And he did that as well as anybody I've ever known. He was committed to collecting our receivables. Because he said if you sell something and you can't collect for it, it doesn't make any difference. So he did that. So anyhow, here he is, 100 years old, fabulous, what a great life. I want to take just a minute to thank Jane and Susan and Greg for loving and caring about him all these years. So wanted to finish with this. Here's looking up your old address, Dad. let's eat some cake.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bring on the cake.
Bring on the cake. Let's go.
Are you going to be able to blow out all those 100 candles?
What?